Not quarter, but 18 minutes past 3, right? 18 minutes past 3. What time is it? It's 11 minutes past 11. So obviously not different time zone, right? Who thinks in this group that this clock works? No one. You think that it works? Okay. Who thinks that this doesn't work? Okay, good. We'll see. Let's wait 10 more minutes. Not here, of course. We'll move on, and we'll see in 10 minutes if this really works. So it's 18 minutes past 3. So we'll see if it's ever going to reach 3:30. Our goal is 3:30. Anyway, next 20 minutes of this tour, our way is that way. So we are going to move in this direction. And actually, that's the further old town of Sarajevo. Next 20 minutes of this tour, we will talk about one guy. His name is Gazi Husrev Bey. Have you heard about him? You heard of Bey soup? So if you go to restaurants, they offer Bey soup. It's a soup related to that Bey. The Bey's title, Beg. In 16th century, when the Ottomans conquered my land, they appointed this guy who had Bosnian roots of the Bosnian kingdom. His father, most of our noble families betrayed our king. So even this guy's father married the Sultan's daughter, so he's a new ruler of Bosnia. And it was illogical that they go to Travnik, because headquarters were there. He didn't like it there. He wanted to spend 20 years of his life in this valley. There was nothing here. Small village was on the other side of the river. Waterline, Franciscan monastery, mosque, and hammam, that from 15th century. On this place where we call the old town right now, there was nothing. He decided to spend 20 years of his life here, and he's building whatever you see in this direction. What's interesting about that? 500 years later, today, still no one owns anything there. It's still part of the trust that the guy established in 16th century. Trust, foundation, sustainable system, completely self-organized. This was the best place of silk. In 16th century, he built first shopping mall here, bazaar. He found an open market. He wanted to people to trade even in the cool winter days, and actually he built first shopping mall in the city. This is still shopping mall, still bazaar, no more silk, as this was Silk Road, no more silk. There are some local souvenir stores there, but these old guys, they pay rent to the trust. Uh-oh, it's 3:30. So it works, it works. There are two major calendars in the world. One is solar. Solar calendars follows the shift, the circle of the Earth around the Sun. So it's how many days? 365 days. But there is a lunar calendar. Lunar calendar follows the circle of the Moon around the Earth. So the Moon circle around the Earth is actually 1 month. But the Moon circle around the Earth does not last 31 days, what we call month. Sorry?
28.
It's 29, actually, 29.5 days. So the circle of the Moon around the Earth is a 1 month in a lunar calendar. Lunar calendar follows Moon and the Sun. According to lunar calendar, next day doesn't start on midnight. What we say, next day is on midnight. We have a 31 month in a lunar calendar, in a sun calendar, because we have a 12 months. And actually they added several days in order to catch 365 days, which is a circle of the Earth around the Sun. But according to lunar calendar, which is officially used by Muslim and Jewish people, they're just looking phase in the circle of the Moon around the Sun. So the month lasts 29 and a half days. But the end of the day is in the moment when the Moon is visible. So when the Sun sets, Moon is up. That's a new day in a lunar calendar. This clock is the only clock in the world which at 12 shows what? Sunset. Sunset. It's end of the day in a lunar calendar. This clock in half an hour will be 4. In 8 hours and 13 minutes from now will show sunset in Sarajevo. Do you trust me? The sunset in Sarajevo is, let's say, 8 hours and 30 minutes from now. What time it will be? From now, 8 hours, it will be 7:24 and 30 minutes. Around 7:50. 7:50 tonight is a sunset. Do you trust me?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We can check the prayer times over there. And all of these prayer times, they depend on the position of the sun. Because Muslim and Jewish people, they pray, and you see, sunset is at 7:50. But the sunset changes every single day, right?
Yeah.
Tonight will be at 7:50. Tomorrow will be at 7:49. The after tomorrow will be at 7:45 and something like that. So we are getting from summer to winter. Day is shorter every single day. So someone, he has to calculate and adjust this clock in order to show 12 o'clock in the moment of sunset. According to lunar time, day does not last 24 hours. So one day is from sunset to sunset. But from sunset to sunset is not 24 hours. It's less than it, right? Or it can be more than it. When we get from winter to summer, from winter to summer, it's more than it. So there is a guy called Mubekit who goes 3 times a week on top of this clock tower in order to adjust it, to check, to show 12 o'clock in the moment of sunset. So Mubekit is still doing it. He's doing it for the last 400 years. Today his job is very easy. He has a Google. Google tells him what time is the sunset. He just needs to go there and slow it or fasten it. But in 17th century, in Sarajevo, someone had to know what time is the sunset and when the sun will set in advance. The guy who will finish school, which was studying astronomy, he was sitting in his office where his information center is right now. He's Mubekit. If you visit Gazi Husrev-beg Library, museum, you can see 16th century equipment they were using to calculate positions of the star. And Mubekit, he will announce the positions of the sun in the following year. He knew year in advance when the sun will set. What he needed to do, he just needed to go there and to adjust it. Lunar time, in a long time ago, was much more practical than the sun time, solar time. For example, imagine now you sleep 3-4 days. You don't know what date is it. How can you know what day is it? Can you predict the date? You can know it's summer, autumn, winter. You see snow outside, it's winter obviously. A date, you cannot know. How can you know which month is it? In a lunar time, it's easy. When you look at the moon, you can know the date. The way that sun hits the moon, it will be every day different in 29 days range, in the range of 1 month. So when the crescent appears from the right side, it's obviously beginning of the month. Half of the moon is seen from the right side, it's 7th. Full moon is 14th in a lunar calendar. Then the moon starts closing. So it will be, again, now shade will be from this side, so it's 16th, 17th. When the crescent is from the left side, it's end of the month. And then the crescent will appear from the right side again. So it was very easy in that time. And I was a child growing up in Sarajevo. I don't know anything. My grandmother, in our language, we have the same word for moon and the month, mjesec. She was pointing me, Eddie, look, it's a new mjesec. Mjesec. Month, always say moon, looks the same, you know, always. But actually the crescent was what she was pointing me at. That it's a new month. So I could know, but I didn't know that back then. In Sarajevo, we have a saying, what my grandmother was telling, and some older generation of people will use that. We have a saying, uoči ponedjeljka, uoči utorka, meeting point, uoči srijede, uoči četvrtka. Ponedjeljak means Monday. Uoči early Monday, early Tuesday, early Wednesday, early Thursday, early Friday. The early Monday is not happening on Monday morning. The early Monday, uoči ponedjeljka, is Sunday evening. Sunday evening is beginning of Monday. Monday evening is early Tuesday. Tuesday evening, early Wednesday. Shabbat, you know Shabbat? Shabbat means what? Saturday. And the Friday is happening. Friday evening is prayer. So Saturday is a holiday for Jews, but the prayer is happening on Friday evening, which is Saturday basically, according to lunar time. Okay? So the lunar clock, sunset and the moon. That's why even sometimes you'll find some things related to Islam, crescent and the star. That's basically time, lunar time. Okay?
The lunar month
Lunar months, they have names, different names. For example, and we'll see what is a month now. Okay, that's the sunset. Again, another prayer will be for the night. Now we'll see now. The date is today is 19th of August 2022, but in a lunar calendar it is 21st of Muharram. So now as we learn that if you tonight look at the moon, the shade will be, so it's third quarter. So it means that it will be half moon, but the shade will be from the right side. So the sun will hit the moon from the left. So it will be half moon open from the left, if you're able to see it tonight.